Call regular council meeting to order, City Hall, June the 2nd, 7 o'clock. Any additions to the agenda? Let it show there's no additions to the agenda. Any citizen comments? Don't see any citizen comments. We're moving on to consent agenda. Entertain a motion to approve the minutes of regular council meeting, May the 19th, 2026.
Make a motion to approve regular council meeting minutes, May 19th, 2026.
Motion on the table by Mark Bryant. Here a second.
Second.
Second by Aaron Raines. All in favor? All opposed? Passes 5-0. I'd entertain a motion for appropriation ordinance 060226 AP in the amount of $170,391.46.
Make a motion to approve appropriation ordinance number 060226 AP in the amount of $170,391.46.
Motion on the table by Mark Bryant. Here a second by Aaron Raines. Any more discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Passes 5-0. Moving on, department heads, electric department, Curtis.
I got nothing.
Council got any questions for Curtis? No questions for Curtis. We're moving on. Water department, Jason.
I'll give you an
Sewers,
update,
streets,
give you
and
an
parks.
update on the pool. Due to not getting our stuff in on time, I sat there and called the pool people in Hutch, and they had given us a recommendation on some concrete hydraulic material. And that being said, we went and got some. Curtis picked it up for us in Great Bend, and we used this stuff. And so this morning, or yesterday, we got it all dried up, and we put this stuff on, and it worked really well. And it dry. I mean, when it says get it on 3 to 5 minutes, you better get it on in 3 to 5 minutes. So we sat there and got it. We sat there and took it in our hands. We rolled it up, and you sat there and just pretty much just start smushing it down in that crack. And then Craven went behind me. He got his gloves wet and just started pushing it down in that crack. And then I just went and started mixing some more. He was right behind me. And then we took a wet sponge, and it was setting up pretty quickly. So both of us were kind of just getting a wet sponge right behind it and smoothing it up as best we could. And then we let it set for the next day, which was today. And then of course it rained. We were going to paint it first thing in the morning because I called in and said, when can we paint it? And he said, if you put it on yesterday, you paint it first thing in the morning. And due to the rain, so we went there today and got our blowers out, and we just sat there for 30 minutes just blowing it. Blowed the leaves down to the deep end so we could get ready to clean that up. And we just sat there on that crack, on that cement, and just kept blowing until it turned light gray like it's supposed to. And then we came back, let the sun bake on it for a little bit until it was completely light gray. I called him again. I told him what we did. He said, get the paint on it. And so we sat there and mixed it up, and we got the paint on it. And I guess a couple of you went and looked at it. It looks really good. And hopefully it doesn't rain till 12 to 2 tonight, and that paint will be set, and we're good to go. And we'll let it set for 3 more days, and then hopefully Friday afternoon, Saturday morning, I'm gonna fill it. And get the pumps going, and there we go.
Good.
And then the other thing I gotta update you on is the NED paperwork. The state, I sent him what I had the state sent me, and he came to me, and I guess all of it, they're sending bits and pieces of it at a time. They didn't send me the whole thing. So he came to me and says, where's all of it at? I said, I sent through what they gave me. And he said, well, that's not all here. So come to find out, he called him and he said, well, we just send you what we get tested. So he doesn't have it all yet. So when they send me, I send it to him. So they're still testing. So just please bear with the state. And when I get it, he'll get it. So there's the update on that. And that's all I have.
Council got any questions for Jason?
Nope.
No questions for Jason. Police Chief Mike.
It's not here.
He's not here. Guess he doesn't have anything. Fire Chief, he don't have anything. City Clerk, Pam.
I'd like to know when you guys want to do the budget workshop. Do you want to do it as a special meeting? Do you want to do it during the council meeting? It won't be, I'm hoping it will last about an hour. We're just gonna go over how we're doing so far as this year goes, and then what project you guys have in mind as far as next year, so we can start, excuse me, budget in November.
Goodness.
Excuse me. But it should take about 45 minutes to an hour.
Okay.
You have everything ready on your end?
Not quite, but it will be ready if you want it at the next meeting.
What do you typically do?
So I would have a report of each fund, and then the budget to compare where we're at for each of those funds, and then I would take down what you guys want to do as far as next year's goes, and then work number with the accountant and then bring it back. Yep.
We've been doing a special meeting, right?
Last year we didn't do it the council meeting,
Oh,
but
okay.
years before, yeah, we
Yeah,
do it a special.
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys want to spend a Saturday with me?
On a Saturday.
Not a Saturday.
I mean, I'm available any day, depending on you guys.
Makes sense.
Does-
I mean, we could do it on a special meeting like we did in the past. I mean, it gives us a little more time.
Yeah, it just depends, I mean, if it's a lighter meeting, it's fine to do it during council meeting, but then if you get up.
I
could
it
start that
doesn't
meeting
matter.
at 6:30, but
Yeah, we could.
Yeah, we can do a special meeting for the budget workshop at 6:30, and
Only
then
problem
like
is if
your
it goes
council.
over 30 minutes, you have to start city council at 7.
Yes, you have to adjourn and then do addition to the, like your agenda and add the budget workshop to finish it.
you want to do it the 16th?
Just do, if we do that, can we just do the addition to the agenda to remain like after consent?
Sure, I mean, it's your agenda. I
Well,
mean,
just
if
in
we don't
case there's
need it-
citizens that come at 7 to say something.
Well, it will be advertised that there's a meeting before, like your council meeting, if they want to attend,
Right.
so.
If you think it'll take longer than 30 minutes,
Yeah,
make it
that's my
6.
question. Do we think it's gonna take longer
Do you
than
want
30?
to do at 6 o'clock? And then if we get done early, you guys get a little break before your actual meeting?
That would work for me.
It's fine with me.
Yeah. it's
Okay.
fine.
How about 6 o'clock on
The
the
16th?
6th month or the 16th?
Okay, well, works for me.
Okay.
That's all I have.
When did you say, Aaron?
June 16th at 6 o'clock.
16th, okay.
That's a lot of sixes.
Any other discussions? City Attorney, Danny?
On the land bank house, I'm trying to find addresses that want to send basically draft petition and demand letter and a deed saying, sign this deed, send it back to us, and we won't file this petition. So I think I should have those mailed out, at least by the time we're here next weekend, and hopefully it's easy enough for them just to sign it and send it back rather than going through the more lengthy process of filing the lawsuit to get there. But I want to have all that put together so they can see if they don't, there's going to be some kind of immediate action with it rather than just nothing.
I got it. Run you through?
Yep.
I was going to ask you a question last week. We asked you to have the date that we needed to respond for the 1%. Did you get that?
Yes,
Oh, I did? I
it
missed
is the first week in August. She needs at least 90 days before the 3rd of November, so
Sorry
it'll be that first week.
Over
No,
the-
you're good. Yeah. First week of August.
And I suppose on that on my end, I'd like to do a little bit before so that whatever language we're using, we've had time where I can bring you guys at least a draft to look at it, make sure that it matches up. So I don't know if that's first meeting in July, if that's something we want to put forward, then I'll bring that language to you
That would
then
be-
to look at, or the second meeting, but somewhere in there.
Got another question, general question. Driving in, I went by North Broadway. Is somebody doing something with one of those lots that looks like they smoothed out?
Yeah, so they bought those 2 lots from the land bank and is in the process of putting a structure up.
A house and a shed? I'm
Um,
just kidding.
On Broadway.
it's a building on North Broadway.
Yeah. It's not-
Gabby
it's just a
Roach.
shed.
Oh, a shed?
Oh,
Okay.
They live across the alley.
Yeah, County Corner, so they can have an actual shed right there.
But they bought both lots?
Yes.
Good.
Yep. So as far as Danny question goes, do you want him to bring like the 1st of July so we have time to correct it by the 2nd meeting?
Yeah.
I would say yes on that.
Okay. Do you need like any,
I can
Like-
bring, well, I guess it's a question of how specific we want to be on what the 1% is going to be used for. If there's a certain project it's going to be tied to, or if it's just a 1% in general.
So we can talk about the swimming pool.
yeah, I mean, the result is right there on your table. We did talk about, if the community wanted a new pool to tie that in with the 1%. If you guys look at the result, what
It's
are
pretty-
your thoughts? Do you wanna tie that to the 1% or?
Well, I think there's 2 things that are on my radar. One, we don't know what we're doing to the swimming pool yet. This was the first stage, just to get feedback. But the second thing is this water well testing. We don't know how that's gonna turn. So we got a possible having to buy land and drill a well, and then we've got the as long, we can still, depending on what the public wants to do with the swimming pool, we don't have to do this next year, but we can get the ball rolling. But maybe, and to talk to you, your request is it too soon?
Can we leave it open as how it is now, just take out the grocery store part, cause as of right now, we can use a lot of that for infrastructure, and that's open up a lot of more options for you to use that 1% for, instead of tie down, okay, this is for the grocery store, and, I can't remember exactly how the language is stated on that resolution, but it's pretty open as far as if we want to use it for infrastructures, and we can leave it like that
Yeah.
if the citizen is willing to,
would a swimming pool be considered infrastructure?
I would.
That'd be a stretch, wouldn't it?
It would be a little stretch, but I
I mean, if you
think
could
it
leave
would.
it vague like that to encompass
Right.
anything we might need.
You could almost
Back.
say to support the general fund.
Oh,
Yeah.
Including the pool, streets, but not limited, included but not limited to, and say the pool in there, because I think if somebody goes to vote and they've been told it's to pay for a pool,
Mhm.
and the
They're gonna
question
need to
says
see that in
nothing
the
about the
question.
pool,
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
then,
That's a good idea.
I mean, it
Yeah.
kinda straps you down to only use it on things coming out of general fund, but I think that's where we
But
need the most
general
help
fund can
anyways.
literally pay for everything if
Right.
you needed it to, so
That might be the best way to do it.
say that
Okay.
one more time.
To support the general fund of the
Okay.
city of St. John,
including,
including but not limited to,
Right.
and then list a few items like pool, streets.
Put pool first.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
I was surprised by this
Sure.
survey.
Yeah.
I really was. 'Cause
I wasn't expecting
I
these
didn't know how
results.
it'd go, but
Yeah.
I didn't think it'd be that.
Mhm.
I've had multiple people come talk to me
Really?
Yeah.
and say, I don't know what the survey's saying, but we need a pool.
I've had the same thing.
Like, I don't care. He said, I don't know what the pool costs to build or repair, but you gotta have a pool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
during
mean, that's
Jubilee-
91% of the response is either strong or agree.
Yeah, during the Jubilee, there was a lot of people that were approaching and said that we need a pool. So,
Now, if whatever they're fixing, they replacing some valves and filling up that big crack between the deep end and the other side of the big pool, if that's whole water, we might not need to build new new pool, we might look into maybe put that lining down that we talked about it a couple of years ago, instead of building a new pool, and that would last a very long time as far as not being able to leak and stuff like that goes. But it's all dependent on how the pool's gonna do next week, so.
So with the wording, we won't shoot ourselves in the foot. Like, we'll be able to, like, say we decide we wanna move forward with the new pool, we'll be able to use these 1% funds. We could say we want 100% of the 1% sales tax funds to go towards a bond payment or something, right? Like, we're not gonna pass this and then not be able to use that money for a new pool, then have to pass.
Something
Cause I think
else on
it's gonna
top
be
of that.
hard to pass
Right.
2%.
Yeah, I saw that,
I'll be able to answer that for sure coming back.
Cause I just don't want us to pass it now or
Right.
it get voted in now and then we're limited on another project that we
Yeah.
wanna do either between the school or the school.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll have a better answer for you on that.
This water deal, these water wells could get very expensive for that.
yeah, exactly.
So do you have your answer?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it may be something where I bring a handful to you guys or a couple and mark them off a bunch to get it. Yeah, make sure that here's what I think we can do that doesn't box us in, or if we want to use it for that, we're gonna have to say specifically is going towards that. But be able to give you advice on that.
Cause, I mean, I'm wondering if we put pool first, I'm not saying we should do it, but if it'll cause mass confusion because we did the survey
And then
and
it's
people that aren't paying attention will think, we'll read pool and it's like, what's going towards the new pool, and that's for sure thing. Now,
Yeah.
they will just have to read the question, but you know what I mean, like,
Yeah.
it'll just cause confusion. Which maybe that's on them to do their due diligence before
Well,
they vote, but.
I mean,
Yeah,
Exactly.
so then it doesn't go through because they think we're building a pool.
Well,
Because
and-
they didn't get educated.
Right.
And you know, that's the with the school one I struggle with, like everything you find is a run on sentence that's about this long, and trying to write something with all the kind of caveats in it, but that when somebody reads it, it's clear this is what we want to do with it. And not mislead them on this means 100% we're getting rid of it, right? Like we want to go to the county general fund or the city general fund with the option to spend on improvement on projects such as, but some way not to say. Yeah. But yeah, if it looks like, hey, we're using this on the pool, we need to do something different with it, that's not gonna make
Maybe
people
it's
happy.
gonna be confusion no matter how you word it, I just,
But
you know, like the grocery store, I felt like it was easy.
Yeah.
Because it was, you either supported that project or you didn't, it was
Right.
clear cut, there was gonna be
Yeah.
certain funds. Now, there's no clear cut project.
yeah,
And so to me, that can sometimes lead to negativity on doing it because
yeah,
they don't know where their money's actually gonna go.
yeah.
I
And that
know a lot of
may-
people understand it, but then there's some
How-
that don't.
This is sort of, not that I would want to do this here, but how do cities like Olathe get away with doing a star bond without going to a vote? Because they increase, with a star bond, they increase sales tax without it even going to a vote to the citizen.
It's called a star bond.
Yeah, it's star, that's how they got the Chiefs to Kansas City, to
I
the
don't-
Kansas side.
I don't know enough about
I don't think
how
we
those
have the
work.
power to do something like that. I'm just curious because they're raising sales tax in that general area to support a project without actually voting.
Did that?
There's a Kansas specific thing.
Yeah, did it go through the
That's
the
what I was
legislature?
wondering. It went to
and they
the-
got
So that's how they bypassed it, because it's,
bypass the
They
local
probably,
road.
yeah.
and it's not even like the whole municipality of
Right.
Olathe. It's like a very specific area, like district within the municipality. But
I think that's how is that the legislature did something for it. If you give them the statutes on the sales tax, it pages long because there's all these special. This one applies to Finney County. This one applies to Shawnee, and there's different carve outs on ones that were pre-existing and that they're going into effect with it.
The investment thus, the project must require at least a $50 million capital improvement.
so we can build one hell of a
Then we have to have the Kansas State Legislature.
Well, we're gonna put all of our streets to concrete and build a new pool, and that might be your 50 million.
I don't know if that will
Well,
cover it.
As far as talking about the pool and all that, the next step is a hearing or form a committee. What are we gonna do?
That's depending on you guys. Now that you guys got the result, which direction do you want to go? You want to wait and see if the pool is holding water and then decide? Because it looks to me like people want new pool.
Are we done with attorney? Are we good to move on?
Are you done? Do you
I
need
know
anything
it's
else?
sort of adjacent,
That
but
that covers what I need unless
Okay.
you guys have other questions for me.
Yeah, that's up to you guys. Which direction you want the pool to go, and then we'll just start
Well,
there.
I want the pool, personally, I just want the pool to go the way that people want the pool to go. So to say, let's hold off if it holds water, then we're making the decision.
So do you want me to start looking
I don't know how
at
you
a cost
guys
of
feel.
a new pool, just to see how much it is, since this, based on the survey, people want a new pool.
I think that would be the prudent move to just research the cost and everything a little bit more thoroughly.
what was Stafford's?
1.3. It's a lot smaller. It's not even the same size as our big one.
Yeah.
It's smaller. That's another thing. If you want me to get the cost, do you want same size of a pool? You want all 3 pools to be replaced, or just the big one? Because the plumbing underneath, they're all connected. So if you're gonna build a new pool, you might as well just build an all new pool.
Right.
If you want it just one big pool, or you want 3 pools.
Well, I think
that we
that's
have.
sort of where we need to talk about it.
Do
Get
we
a
want-
committee, what did we say? No more than 5?
Well, the last time when we did the grocery store committee, I think it was 5 people that were on it, if I'm not mistaken. Is that right, Bob?
I think that's right.
Yeah. If we get I personally think we should get the community involved and have a committee take a look at it, and they can do the legwork with talking with other community members and see what they're thinking besides this right here, because this is just a small percentage. Participants 230. We got a lot more people. This is 10
What,
than that.
50% of the voters?
Okay, so I'll
Roughly.
just start advertising for members to be on a committee, and then we'll just meet.
When we did the grocery store committee, we had a town hall meeting, and that seemed to help and answer a lot of questions. That's when we asked for volunteers for the grocery store committee, and that's what led to everything going the way it went, and then handing everything over to EcoDevo, and then they took the ball and ran with it and got whites in here.
Do you want me to organize a town meeting?
Well, I would think that would be a good idea, but I want to know what the rest of council thinks.
Well, I think a meeting is fine.
A town hall meeting?
Why not?
Okay.
I would,
It's $1 million,
I would-
roughly.
Right.
I would suggest something. Now that you've got the new valves in the pool and you've got the repairs made, I think you better hold off on this until you see that we're still got a problem. If we don't have a problem, puts a whole new light on a new pool. You got $80,000 worth of material in that pool. I think wasn't that about what them valves cost?
Which time? 80,000 total?
Spent 100, like what, 2 years ago?
Yeah, but this last go around, all the new valves and the butterflies and that stuff.
Spaced out, it was a chunk of money.
I can't remember
Getting
what
it
it was.
tested, getting the companies to come through there, yeah.
But-
Not just 80,000 worth of valves this time, no, but through the course of the last 2 years, 3 years yet.
80,000 on valves,
Not all on valves, no.
just in general.
Just in general, it was over 80,000.
Well, what was the loan that we just took out? Wasn't it 90?
100,000.
100,000.
And that's include what he's talking about
Oh,
to
okay.
pay for that.
Yeah, okay, that's what Bob's talking about, all that in general.
But I would suggest we see what the pool's gonna do before we carry this on to whether we're gonna build a new pool or keep the one we've got fixed. You understand what I'm saying?
I think
You've
his,
already thrown 100,000 at this one.
right. His thing is that based on the survey here, people wanted a new pool instead of repairing or keeping the old pool.
Well, if
based
we were
on
gonna
the
do that, we
survey.
should have done that before we started the $100,000
Well,
loan.
that's the whole reason
Well,
we
that's-
didn't do the $400,000
Right.
coating.
Right.
But we needed a pool, so you gotta do what you gotta
So
do.
we
to
put a
get it
Band-Aid on this.
We've been putting Band-Aids
Yeah,
on.
that's
Right.
what we've been doing over the.
But if
So
it
that's-
holds
ever since
water
I've
and
been
we're
on
not
council.
losing any water, apparently we've got that problem took care of. Is that not right?
For how long?
yeah.
Because
You
our
can't
pool is
answer that.
aging, and that's the thing.
But I will
Unders-
also add, Stafford built a new pool and for 2 years, they had to redo the plumbing
Yeah.
and spent a lot of money.
Well, this is, if you want to table this for a meeting, I'm open to that. By that time, we'll know if the pool is going to hold water or not hold water. But I still think we need to move forward and not lose momentum. I'm not saying lose momentum to build it. I'm just saying lose momentum. Maybe it holds the water this year and next year. In the meantime, when it doesn't, we'll have all the due diligence done
That's fine.
and then ready to roll. If
I
it
don't-
takes a year or 2 years.
But
Or maybe we put this on hold because we don't know what's gonna happen with the water well testing.
exactly.
So, that's the other
There's
thing.
a lot of things feeding into that, I think.
Just because
We
we
also
do
thought we
the,
had it fixed 2 years ago when we spent the 80 grand. And now we're
Exactly.
doing another fix. So even
Last
if it
year
holds
at
next year, then what happens the next year? And we've been having this conversation since I got on council 4 years ago of do we need a new pool? So, I mean, if the appetite for the community is the only question that was disagreed on was should we continue repairing the swimming pool? I mean, I think we need to do our due diligence, figure out what it costs, and it's not gonna get any cheaper.
Oh, I'm not gonna argue that point a bit.
yeah. So just because we're doing the due diligence, we just need to get a game plan. You don't build
Yeah,
a house
sure.
without a plan,
I agree.
so.
You know, we may not do anything this year or next year, but I think that bringing this to the community and hearing them face to face, I think that's the right thing to do, just like we did with the grocery store committee. Because we're looking at similar issues right now, though they're different. There's similar issues with, you know, trying to figure out what we're going to do with the pool, just like we did with the grocery store. As you remember, there was a lot of people that wanted it back over here, but that wasn't the way to go, and it's much better out here, and people now see that.
I agree.
We just need to, I just think, I agree with Aaron, we need to bring it to the people and see what they say. It's not like we're gonna do it anytime soon, you know, but at least we'll get the information from them and find out where they stand on it, because we already got, you know, in my opinion, overwhelming positive responses for a new pool from the community. But that's just a small sample of people that are participating in this, you know, polling.
I'm
We need to hear
surprised
from
that we got
everybody.
230
I am too.
responses.
Yeah, exactly.
I was very
So
surprised.
it's not.
How many voters do we have? 400 and
I can't tell
Thought it
you.
was
I'm
between 4
sorry.
and 5.
500. Yeah, that's almost
I
half.
don't know.
And those are the
But this
people
was
that.
sent to households, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so how many households do you have?
We sent out 615.
So you got about a third.
Yeah.
I'm still surprised we got 230 back.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a lot.
When I
For
opened
somebody
that
to
email,
take
I
the
was
time
shocked.
to do it.
Okay, so go back to your question. put it out there, however you do it, like we would like people to contact the city office that would like to be on the committee
Okay,
for a swimming pool.
okay. And are
Well-
you still interested in doing a town hall meeting, or are we waiting on that? Do you wanna just,
Well, we sort of need to get the information first, like, this is what you get for $1 million. This
okay,
is what we've got, this is however you measure swimming pools.
okay,
This is what we've got now, this is what it would cost to get
okay,
a pool with that similar, to hold a similar amount of water or whatever.
Again, we're running into the same issues that we had last time before we had the grocery store town hall. We had to get all the information together, and it's a smart thing to do, so we can bring it to the public and let them know, you know, what we're thinking and how much it's going to cost potentially, and let them decide. Because I'm strongly for having all of the people come in and say show their feelings, because that's what happened the last time when we had something like this with the grocery store committee. You remember, I don't know if any of you remember when Paul's came over here and started handing out flyers, come to me, you know, I mean, people were just worried about what was gonna happen with our city, because if we didn't get a grocery store, we were down. Now, just because we don't have a pool doesn't mean we're gonna go under as a city. You know, this is something that is just for, you know, basically entertainment, so.
this is gonna put a damper on your deadline as far as having the 1%, because we don't know which direction we're heading with the pool, and to tie that in, the 1% in with the pool, would that be,
Well, I think there's a couple ways to look at it. And I think you brought this up, Kyle, on not having the lag maybe between this one expires before the next one goes in. You know, people might be more likely to keep it consistent rather than to go a year without the 1% and then put it back in. I mean, if it's possible to word it general enough to where it goes to general fund for general improvement projects, which could include the pool, could improve new water wells, improvements, and it passes, then you'd have that option with it. If it goes through general like that, fails, and then we end up wanting to do the new pool, we could always come back the next year with the 1% tied specifically to the pool.
Remind me the time period, because there's 3% that's allowed, and it's 2 for city purposes and 1 special, like general purpose and 1 special.
I think that's right, and the special can only run for 10 years.
But general,
Or no, maybe the special could be longer, but it was done, once it was done.
Cause the one we did was a general, right?
Right.
yeah, but
Yeah, it was
we
limited to
specified
10
it was 10 years.
Yeah.
I was thinking the general, you could put any time period on it.
Yeah, I think I've got those answers somewhere.
So we're talking,
But
how do you feel about the two things, the well and the pool? Either or both?
I don't know, if you have to do the well, you might not have a choice as far as,
Okay.
A general sales tax remains in effect until repealed or the term in the ballot question is reached. But a special purpose tax expires after 10 years. So you can choose to put a timeline on it, or you can just pass it without a timeline. And then until it's repealed. You have more flexibility. Like, if we're gonna get a bond or we're gonna go get a loan for doing a pool, I don't know if you could get a 4% rate. I think we were close to 4% on the 100,000 we got. We're right at 4.
I can't,
I think it was right at
3.5 or 4 in between there,
And rates are different now, but
right?
if you assume 4% on different values of loans on a 20-year payoff, paying off yearly, the 1% as it sits today pays for the entire payment on a $2.5 million loan. And then it just goes up. I don't know if 2.5 is the baseline, but that's where if you take 1% as it sits today, it doesn't grow at all for the next 20 years. 100% of the 1% sales tax you bring in will go to a loan payment on $2.5 million for 20 years. All that to say is I don't know everyone else's opinion, but if we're allowed to have that general tax for general fund purposes and not set a deadline on it, and it only goes away until it repeals, we don't have to have this conversation when another big infrastructure problem happens again. It can be part of the tax income for our city, and if they don't have big projects, it can reduce the burden on the property tax if there isn't a big fund that it needs to go to, but it's always there to supplement what we've got going on. And I would be very for that, but I don't know if the appetite's there for everybody else.
I
But
mean, some towns like Pratt, they're proposing to pass a 1% to help keep the mill levy down on the property tax, so that way it's not a tax burden on the property owners, but also, you know, like those that are traveling through our county. So a lot of smaller towns are starting to do that, so that's also an option as well, because we have to raise our R&R rate because we need more money in the general fund. So that's another option, so that if you want to keep that open just to help the general fund to where we don't have to keep raising the levy every year, you know, that's an option.
it can be sort of advertised that way, but I think everything costs so much that
Right.
that's like kind of advertising it that way, like for Pratt, to me seems like a Band-Aid, because eventually you're gonna, it'll the 1% will fix that for the next 5 years until inflation keeps going, and then you're gonna have to go over the R&R rate,
Right.
because R&R rate isn't set up to
It's a,
reflect inflation. It's not, it's set, I don't like the R&R, it just, it doesn't reflect reality.
that's a moving average, isn't it?
No.
The
No, the R&R at, you could reduce your mill levy every single year and exceed R&R every single year. Because if property tax goes up, your mill levy has to go down to bring in the exact same amount of
Okay,
dollars.
that's,
Yeah. And so you're always gonna exceed R&R because things get more expensive.
You almost have to.
Yeah, it's, the
okay.
economy would have to get very, very bad for you not to exceed R&R. Unless you're doing something like a 1% to cover for it until it doesn't cover for it, and then you're gonna exceed it again.
Yeah.
So advertising it as a way to not go over R&R seems a little devious, because
I
eventually you're
agree
gonna
with
go
that.
over
It-
R&R.
It's, yeah.
When you get a little break for 2-3 years and then you go back.
Yeah.
So going back, then advertising as a general, to put it a 1% in the general fund to proceed with projects like, or just say general fund?
I would just say general fund,
I'd say that's,
Yeah, I
Yeah.
just want the flexibility to use it on
because it's
many
water well thing.
different projects. I don't wanna pass it, and then we can't use it on the water well or the
Yeah,
pool or
right.
a big street project.
well, I'd say let's just do general, the general
I-
fund.
As long as we can, as long as it's broad enough that we're not.
Yeah.
We're not limiting ourselves, so, you know, where.
I mean, do you think it's devious to put the, like, list most of the general funds on there, like including but not limited to? Because the general fund is just a general fund. So if we say it's for the general fund, but then to add context, because if you tell a guy walking down the street, hey, what do you
Yeah.
think about the city's general fund? Well, what does that even
Yeah,
support?
they're not gonna
I
know.
don't know what
I
the
think
general
if
fund
you,
is. Is that just to pay salaries? Everybody's just getting a raise?
Well,
I
That's the
mean,
first
if
thing
you
people
keep,
Yeah,
if
right.
you keep adding, it'll get too long of a run-on sentence, like you say, and you lose people's interest, so you have to be
But-
careful of what you add
Yeah.
to that.
but I think some examples to that probably help, where you say Citron's general fund, which can, you know, which includes streets, water.
Could you say something like non-taxable? No, they won't understand that.
no, I would include things people are most tuned into, the streets, the water, the police, the fire. Is fire a separate fund?
Yes.
Okay. You know, things that,
Fire doesn't come out of general.
that
It's
people
part of
think
general,
of when
but
they
it's its
need,
own fund in
they need
general.
it and they want it. I
How
mean,
about EMS? Could you say that, like what we're getting
That's
into?
right.
Is that a
County.
county?
Yeah.
The
That's
county
okay.
pays
Okay.
things in
And
Back.
I don't. Are the
Might be.
utilities separate, like water and electric?
Not its own fund.
So that if we want to have the option to use it, if
For
we
water
need
wells.
new city water well or something,
You might have to specifically say on there. Am I understanding that right? To
I-
use it for utilities instead of general,
since they're,
it's a revenue fund too, so
Yeah.
it might need to be state specifically for water, infrastructure.
do you, so you've got a capital improvement fund, right?
Yes,
And you could use that for projects or anything in the city, could get that, go to potentially a pool, a water well, streets.
yes, because within that fund, you have line item that this, how much of this go to pool, how much of this go to street.
So
So-
if the 1% went into the capital improvement fund for the city, then you'd have the flexibility to then use that capital improvement fund for different projects as
Yes,
they came up.
yes, cause you can transfer from general fund into water and light, but there's restrictions as far as transferring revenue fund to like different fund, you know? So there's more restriction there, but I'm pretty sure as far as general fund, it's pretty flexible as far as where you transfer the money into.
Is capital improvements part of general fund?
No, its own fund.
But if
That's
Yeah.
sort of,
if it goes to capital improvements, then it's not, maybe that's easier to, like you're talking about, that's public
Specify.
improvement projects, easier to sell that rather than going to general fund,
Yeah.
it just raises for every city employee or something that does.
It's
Cap-
probably
capital
it's probably a
improvement.
safer way to ensure 15 years down the line when we're all out of here that it's continuing to be used just for
For
projects,
capital
Major
improvement.
project.
major
But it-
projects.
It's also if that's revenue that's come from the sales tax to the capital improvement fund, that frees up other money that had been going towards
Towards
street
capital.
projects or things like that too, so.
Yeah, you have to be careful as far as how much you want to save for other projects. You have to account for the regular project within a general fund that we give that money for as well, so.
I think capital funds is a good, I like that personally, instead of general fund.
Can you do both?
Yeah, I mean,
Both as in,
Both
put it
general
in
and
the
percentage,
question.
Yeah,
improvement.
compared to either one.
yeah, I think we can,
It might be easier if you do just the general fund for the sales tax and then at the end of the year, look at how much you brought in and then transfer it to capital improvement. And use the capital improvement as a saving account for each department or project that you want. That might be easier and cleaner way to keep track of the 1%.
It would be.
Yeah.
I agree with you, and how can we word it so people understand it? Because I don't think most people out there are stupid, and I don't want them to think we're trying to hide where we're putting this
so
money, because we're not.
wanna say is 1% sales tax that would go to the city's general fund, that could be used to help. How do we want, I mean, what do you wanna lead with, that could be used for improvement projects throughout the city to help,
Streets.
Streets, water.
Water, pool, not pool, but
but it would also, the
capital
1%,
projects.
can we it can go toward all but not limited to utilities, infrastructures, street, and cause there'll be time that
Recreation.
we're gonna need
Mhm.
some of that extra money to go help with the utilities.
yeah, it would, what I was trying to get to is, do we want to add use for this and also to help, or not necessarily offset, but reduce the property tax?
I wouldn't go there,
Yeah.
because if that doesn't happen, and it
Yeah.
probably wouldn't, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, then there's, yeah, because then they could say, well, why are you raising the R&R?
Exactly.
We'll just let, Aaron does a really good job explaining the R&R. We just let him go talk to everybody on that.
We're gonna need that general fund to pay my fee.
There you go again, raise this for
There we go.
It's called volunteer work.
I'm just kidding.
Volunteer work.
No, I don't mind explaining to anybody who has a question, but is somebody who's upset about the R&R really gonna want to know
Yeah,
the answer?
yeah.
Or do they just want to be
No.
upset about it?
No,
So
they don't
Yeah.
understand it if you explain it to them. But
I don't hardly understand it. I
It-
think I
that's
understand
the way
it.
people want it.
Yeah.
trust me, we fought it.
By the time you
It's
understand it,
it's
they'll
a very
change
dumb
it
way
again.
to do it.
So
Now, if the this is sort of a side comment, the R&R, in my opinion, should be tied to consumer price index. So it should raise a flag when the dollar amount is raising above that consumer price index, because then it's accounting for
it's
changing.
consistent.
Yeah. Then there's something to measure it against. If it's just dollar for dollar, it's like, well, what use is that? It doesn't tell you what you need to know. But sorry.
So
Okay.
Pam,
Yes.
do you have any questions on what you need?
I don't, but we'll just wait for Danny to do that. And in the meantime, I'll just advertise for the member of the committee for the pool, and I'll get some pricing.
When will we know if that pool's leaking? Immediately, or does it usually take a while?
Well, it'll take a little bit,
Week or two?
yeah.
Sometimes till the end of the season.
Oh, really?
Yeah, last year it was holding water good until toward the end of the season. It was just like start losing water rapidly.
So we're clear to move on?
Yes.
Okay.
Council got any more discussion on things that's been discussed? Moving on. I think we covered the water well testing. You wanna talk about it some more? For the council?
The only thing I would like to say, we just need to keep it in the forefront, that we may need to spend some money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Moving on to extension of sewer and water mains on West Street.
Having a meeting tomorrow to go over the starting of the project, so it'll be starting here pretty quick. We got most of the materials in, so we're ready.
Anybody got any questions about that?
Nope.
How about the KP&F or Cape Keepers Plan?
Done here till August.
Okay. We've talked quite a bit about the swimming pool. You got anything else you wanna talk under old business? 1% sales tax?
No.
New business, fire discharge during the 4th of July.
250.
What? Did you say-
250th anniversary of our country.
Yes, it is.
Oh,
Big year.
I thought you meant like 250 as in like.
250 days?
Yeah. I'm like, no.
Let's just go Missouri on this thing.
Let's do.
Oh,
1st
Lord.
of July to the 31st of July.
I don't know about that.
Turn them loose,
Go
let them
real
go.
wild and go the 5th through the 3rd. It's the only you can't do it. Is
How about July 3rd, which is Friday to Sunday, July 5th?
I would just say the 3rd and the 4th. You're gonna get people who are gonna
They're gonna
blow
shoot
off
'em on
park,
the
you know,
5th anyway.
fireworks anyway. I just say the 3rd and 4th because I've been getting a lot of people talking to me that their pets are up, their pets get all up in an uproar, and then there's some veterans that have PTSD that just don't like it. And I'd just like to limit it as much as possible, not to mention the fact that you got a lot of seniors that just don't like it either. But having said that, I want to give families in our community a chance to celebrate our 250th.
When is the 4th of July?
It's
What day?
Saturday.
Saturday?
Yeah.
Saturday the 4th.
I'd say Friday, Saturday and Sunday.
I mean, we typically only do 2 days, but I think there's justification.
Yeah,
because
you
of
got
the
250 years.
I'd,
It's a big thing.
I'd be
Yeah.
fine
That's
with
true.
it.
It is a
Just
big thing.
my opinion on Sunday is don't start it as early and end it earlier.
I agree with you.
that's fine.
Now that I agree
Noon to
with.
8
Yeah.
on
Noon to
Sunday.
5 or noon
Yeah,
to
or
4 or
just-
something.
Yeah, if
don't
we
start,
go
you know,
3 days and we do it on Sunday, I agree with what you're
Yeah,
saying.
cut it off.
That's a perfect compromise.
I mean, noon to something
Yeah.
on Sunday. If we
You
do
wanna
it.
do noon till sunset?
Yeah, just do noon to
Cause
8.
sunset's at like 9 o'clock, I think, 9-ish,
Surely 8
That-
o'clock. I mean, whatever.
8 or 9 would work with me. It doesn't
I'd
bother
say
me.
9 o'clock.
9 o'clock.
Yeah, that
9,
works.
and then the other days is 8 to.
8 to midnight.
Midnight.
Yeah, like we did before.
I need a motion.
I would make a
12 to
motion.
9. 12 to 9.
Yeah, on Sunday.
I would make a motion. Is it an ordinance or what do we? Or just a declaration?
Yeah, it's just a proclamation.
I would make a motion, make a proclamation that fireworks for the 250th anniversary of America for St. John, Kansas, that we allow fireworks to be discharged on Friday, July 3rd, and Saturday, July 4th from 8 a.m. until midnight, and on Sunday, July the 5th from noon until 9 p.m.
Is that a motion?
That's a motion.
Motion on the table
Second.
by Aaron Gleason. Second by Aaron Raines. Any more discussion on the fireworks? All in favor? All opposed? Passes 5-0. I'd entertain a motion, if you're okay with that, for 10-minute executive session to discuss non-elected personnel. I think it's,
I'd make a motion to go into executive session to discuss non-elected personnel to include council, mayor, attorney, Pam, and Jason.
Second. Anita will.
got a motion on the table by Kyle to go into executive session. Second by Aaron Gleason. Any more discussion? All in favor? 5-0, passes 5-0. We're in executive session. Yeah, I jumped again. Call regular council meeting back to order from executive session. Anybody got anything else they want to talk about in regular council meeting? Kyle, did you get everything took over?
Yeah, we're good.
Anybody else?
Nope.
I think
I'd make a
Entertain a
motion
motion.
to adjourn regular council meeting June 2nd, 2026.
motion
Second.
on the table by Aaron Gleason and a second by Mark Bryant. Any more discussion before we vote? All in favor? All opposed? Council meeting is over.